We're going to be picking up all the supplies we're going to be using. Most of the I like to do is whatever you've got. That's a wrap on the shipment. So
run that back.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, I'm Sanjay Suresh. I'm a 16-year-old junior in high school, but in my free time, I run a few reselling businesses. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a full step-by-step FBA shipment, start to finish, from sourcing to dropping it off at UPS. This has been a highly requested video for a very long time, so I'm finally going to get into it. But I've got some inventory right behind me that we're going to be sending it out, and I'm going to cut right now to the in-store footage of me sourcing this stuff. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so I'm at Walmart right now, and we're going to be picking up all the supplies we're going to be using for the shipment today. So Walmart is one of my favorite places to buy some of these items because they're just cheaper and it's really convenient because I live right next to a Walmart. But you could also get your boxes at Lowe's and Home Depot. Usually I get my boxes from Home Depot because they always have them in stock, and Walmart, sometimes the stock is kind of iffy and they don't have a lot of them available. But other stuff like saran wrap and bubble wrap you get from Walmart or online on eBay. Right now, since I don't want to buy a lot of bubble wrap and I want to show you guys just something that's easy to do, you can buy it from Walmart and you don't have to buy it in bulk like when you buy online to get a cheap price. Okay, so I finally made it out of the grocery clearance, and I'm in the office supply section. So here are the supplies we're going to be getting. Bubble wrap, we're going to get some boxes, probably not the large ones, probably just these medium ones right here, and maybe a few small ones, or, oh wait, that's not small. Small ones right here, and then they also have, usually I'll get like this Duck Easy Start tape. It's pretty good, but also this stuff is pretty terrible. I don't recommend getting this. But I've used most of these. The Scotch tape is really expensive, but it's really good. Easy Start is pretty cheap and it's pretty good. And they also have bubble mailers here as well if you need that. And I used to use saran wrap like this, stretch wrap, but now that I have an impulse sealer, I don't need this. And we're not going to need this for today's shipment, so I'm not going to get that. Alright, so back home now, and one other thing that I didn't mention at Walmart, you might want to get some Goo Gone. So this is a sticker remover. It helps get rid of that sticker residue once you peel off a sticker. So if you're sourcing clearance, you might want to use some of this. I bought this in like my first month of selling on Amazon, and it was really helpful. These Jolly Rancher drink mixes I picked up have clearance stickers on them, but let's get into what I got. So when I walked in, the first aisle, 50% off all Christmas stuff, and I got a bunch of groceries. So this shipment is going to be complete groceries, which you guys are probably going to be restricted in if you're just starting, and don't let that discourage you from selling on Amazon because everyone starts off restricted in all these different categories and brands. You have to work from there if you want to be able to sell in categories like grocery or sell brands like Sony, Microsoft, stuff like that. To this day, I'm still gated in brands like Nike, Adidas, Lego. It is possible to go get ungated for them, but I haven't really worked on that a lot. It's going to take a little more work if I want to do that, and honestly, it's not even that helpful, at least for what I'm doing. I'm pretty happy selling groceries because I have a pretty good business model going for me. But anyways, we've got 6 boxes of these. They sell in a 6-pack, so I've got technically 1 unit, but I paid 50 cents per box, so $3 for the whole thing, and it's gonna make me about $3.50 for one, which isn't, you know, amazing since I only got 1 unit, but I figured it was pretty easy and something that I wanted to throw in with this shipment. So that's one item I got. Next, I got 18 of these Kisses candy cane chocolates, and these are selling for about $12 in a 2-pack, so I'm going to be making about $1.75 per 2-pack, which is not terrible because I got 9 2-packs. So that's an easy almost $20. So I'm pretty happy with that, and that's why I got that. Sometimes it's worth it to take small margins for volume. And this price, the price on these is probably going to go down because every Walmart, probably nationwide, is clearancing these out. So I don't mind waiting a little bit to get that $2 per unit profit just because I have the capital. If you're just getting started, you might want to be a little more careful with stuff like this because you've got to remember that every Walmart is probably clearancing these out, so there's going to be a huge influx of sellers and they're going to drop the price pretty quickly. So if you're patient, it's fine. If you've got the money, it's fine. But if you want to invest in other stuff and move it more quickly, that's another way to go. Or who knows, maybe the price doesn't tank and you get in and get out quickly and make your easy $20. Next, I picked up 13 of these Hershey's candy canes. I'm selling them as 1-packs and they're going for like $8 or something, and I'm gonna make $2 to $3 per unit. I'll throw up the actual like listing and profit right up here and talk about it later in the video, but these expire in 2022, so plenty of time to sell them. And this stuff was only like, all of this stuff was about $1, $1.50 each, so pretty easy to get started with stuff like this if you're not gated in grocery. But if you are, there's plenty of other stuff you can sell. When I started off with reselling, I started with books and electronics from Goodwill. Really cheap stuff and a pretty good way to get some good profit margins. I remember I picked up this like photo light thing that helps you trace pictures, and I sold it for like $40. I got it for $5. Stuff like that, you never know what's going to be selling, which is why I always recommend looking everything up. But anyways, I picked up 14 boxes of these cordial cherries, I think that's how you say it, for 90 cents each, and I'm selling single boxes I think for like $8, $9 and make a few dollars per box. All in all, pretty great for about an hour of work, and I got 2 medium boxes for this shipment. I'm probably only going to need 1, and I also got the roll of bubble wrap just because I didn't have any here. Probably not going to need that for this shipment either though. I'm going to switch over to the screen recording now, and we're going to get to listing these items. So now you've got your inventory here. What is the next step? You're going to head over to Seller Central after you've made your account. So your account should have already been set up before you went sourcing because you need the Amazon Seller app to go sourcing. So once you're logged into Seller Central, you're going to go into Inventory, and it'll open this drop-down menu, and you're going to click on Add a Product. Now you're going to want to grab one of your products, and you're going to want to find the UPC on the back. So that's the barcode right here. In most cases, you'll be able to tell which one the UPC is, but you're just going to type in that whole number. So in this case, 03400012094. And I'm going to press enter, and it pulls up all these different listings. Now we're looking for the 2-pack, and I can see right here it says pack of 2. Now another thing you want to check is the rank. So this is rank 26,000 and it's in grocery, so that is a pretty great rank. You see this one is 522,000. That one's probably moving a lot slower, but still not terrible. It'll probably sell once in like a month or maybe a couple months. But anyways, we're going to select new and then click sell this product, and we're going to check one more thing. We're going to open up the listing in a new tab, so just click view listing on Amazon, open up right here, and you can see that it is the 2-pack. It's got 190 ratings, which is pretty good. And then if we look here, it says there are 45 sellers right now, and the starting price is $10.50. Now, another thing to notice here is it says back ordered. So this seller technically isn't in stock right now. They might have it at Amazon, but it's probably in fulfillment center transfer. What that is when you send your shipment to Amazon and then they send your items to other fulfillment centers across the country just to optimize shipping. It works better for them. So your items will often go into fulfillment center transfer for a few days, maybe even a week or a little more. But then after that, they will be in stock just like all these other sellers, ready for prime shipping. So we can see the lowest prime price is $10.99. If you notice this stock revealed by Keepa thing, it tells me how many units each seller has. It's a Chrome plugin called Keepa, and it's free, but if you want to use the paid version, which I do use, it gives you sales rank history as well. It gives you access to this graph, which I usually do check in store. Today I was kind of in a hurry, so I just went through it pretty quickly, but as you can see that the sales rank has been pretty consistent around that 30,000, 20,000 mark when the item was in stock. When it wasn't, it was hovering about 150,000. And then you can see that all these sellers came in, new offer count 39, from 1 in just about 20 days, which was pretty quick. That usually happens with a lot of listings in Q4, but anyways, you don't need it to start. I wouldn't recommend you get it to start. It's not necessary. It's just a cool tool I like to use, but moving on, we're going to price at $10.99 because that is the lowest in-stock prime price. You could price a little higher because you never know how long it's going to take for your items to be in stock. It could take a couple weeks, and the price could go up in that time. So maybe if you want, you could price at $11.50, but I have a feeling this item's price is only going to go down between now and the time it actually gets to Amazon. So I'm just going to price it $10.99. That should be pretty safe. Now, another important thing to do is type in a seller SKU. So this is your own personal product identifier. So what I like to do is I like to type in the date like this. And then I like to type in a little code for the store I bought it from. So for Walmart, usually put WMT or WMA. And then I like to put the purchase price. So I paid, let me just check, $1.49 each. And since we're selling 2 packs, we're going to make that $2.98. And then I have 9 units. So I'm going to put that X9 right there. That's just for my personal use. It really helps with taxes and accounting. And you're going to want to be doing that from the start. That's something I didn't do in the beginning, and I really regret it. It took me 6 months to start doing that, and it really made filing taxes and doing that whole accounting process a lot harder and wasted a lot of time. So you should really start doing this from the get-go. It will make accounting and taxes way easier for you. Now, for quantity, we actually don't have to type that in because if you click on Amazon will provide customer service and ship these items, which is fulfillment by Amazon, you won't have to fill that out. So all we have to do, $10.99 is the price, condition, new, and the seller SKU is filled out. That's all you really need. If you're seeing a lot of other stuff, make sure you've got this check mark and you're not in the advanced view mode. You don't need to worry about this stuff right now. And I'm just going to click remember this setting for next time to default that. Press save and finish. And then it will take you to this page where it will let you choose what kind of barcode you want to be using. Now, here it says Amazon barcode only because this is a multi-pack. The reason you have to put a barcode on this is because it's a 2-pack, so there's going to be multiple barcodes. You don't want Amazon getting confused. So once you bag these up, you're going to put a label on top. Now, sometimes it will let you choose between Amazon barcode and manufacturer. I recommend always using the Amazon barcode. Using the manufacturer barcode, sometimes when someone orders your item, they will send whichever one is closest. So it might not necessarily be yours, so you don't get to do that quality control, which is why I always like to use Amazon barcode only. I got screwed over by that once on a $60 item, and it really sucked, and I got a negative feedback for it. Luckily, I got it removed, but I was still out the $60, so that's why I always use Amazon barcodes. And I'll explain how to print those barcodes a little later, but after you press next, it'll take you to the dangerous goods place, and you might think this is kind of dumb because it's asking me if this item has batteries, but they just haven't come up with a better process for the stuff yet, so just press no on both. This doesn't have batteries in it, and press submit, and then we're going to continue. And now we're going to create a new shipping plan. So this is our fulfillment by Amazon shipping plan, individual products. Since we're not shipping like a bunch of the same item in one box, we're shipping multiple different items in a single box. So I'm going to press continue to shipping plan, and you can see here we have our item. I'm going to type in the quantity 9 just to get started, and then we're going to go back to add products. If you press add products, it'll pull up the listings you already have created, so we need to make the rest of our listings. So I'm just going to go back to inventory, add a product, and I'm going to do the same process with all of the other items. So I'm just going to time-lapse that real quick. I'm going to price this one a little higher because the rank is really good. 8,000 in grocery is a really fast-moving item in most cases. The lowest price sellers only have a few units, 5 plus 4 plus 1. They only have 10 units in stock, which will probably be out of stock by the time the shipment gets to Amazon. So that's all you got to fill out there. Now, this time we're going to press add to an existing shipping plan so we can add it to the shipment that we were just working on. And now both items are in. I've got one of these, so I'm going to type in a 1 there. and I'm gonna go back and repeat the process. It looks like it would be more profitable to sell these in a 2-pack, so that's what we're gonna be doing. And we have 13 of these. So now we've got all 4 of the different listings done. We got the quantities typed in. So now we're gonna press continue. And it's gonna ask us what prep is needed for these items. So for everything else, I'm just gonna put no prep needed because polybagging isn't an option here, which is something you would use for the kisses since they're in a 2-pack. This is just for, like, for example, if you want to put fragile or stuff like this, but then it's just going to ask you who preps, and you're going to select merchant, because if you select Amazon from the drop down right here, you're going to pay a fee for them to prep the item for you. You're going to want to prep it yourself anyways, just because sending it to FBA, you want it to be all ready to go and not get damaged during transit if it's something that would need, for example, bubble wrap or padding, boxing, stuff like that. But everything else, no prep needed, and the prep cost should say 0, and that's all good, so we're going to press continue. And now it takes us to the label page. So earlier I mentioned Amazon barcodes. These are the barcodes, so it's going to say merchant for all of these. You can use Amazon's labeling service. It costs about 30 cents per item, which is why I don't recommend it, because it's really easy to label these. I didn't buy labels at Walmart just because I already have a pack right here. I got these from Goodwill for 69 cents. And this is the Avery brand. It's more expensive to buy these online, but I think this is what I bought at first just because it comes in a small package for about like $5-6 on Amazon. So this pack comes with 750 labels. It's like 30 sheets, I think, or 30 labels per sheet. There's like 25 sheets in here, I think. So not a bad price. When you take it out, it's going to look like just like this. So basically like a normal piece of paper, but if you look closely, there's actually like lines separating each label, and there's some perforations, and you can put this in any printer, so laser printer and inkjet printer. Yeah, you don't need any sort of special printer to do this. I do have a label printer, but we're not going to be using that in this video because you probably don't have a label printer if you're just getting into FBA. So I'm going to go put this in my printer. Actually, first, right now, I'm going to press print labels for this page. It says merchant on all of these, so that's good, and we've got all 30 items right here. Right here is the document with all my labels on it. So now I'm just going to print this out. It opened in Adobe Acrobat since that's what I have installed. But if you don't have an Acrobat, I'm pretty sure it's free to download. But anyways, I'm going to go put this in my printer. Very conveniently, we have exactly 30 units. And this is a page of 30. Alright, so now that we got our labels right here, we're going to get to prepping the products for FBA. So for some of these items, it's going to be pretty easy. Like for the candy canes, it's just putting the labels on each box. But for the kisses and the cherries, it's going to be a little harder because we have to bag them, which is still pretty easy. But let me show you what I mean. These are poly bags, so you can buy these on Amazon. You won't really find them in stores except at like Staples, but they will probably be really overpriced. These are 9x12, and they have the suffocation warning, which is required if you use plastic bags. But these come pretty cheap on Amazon. I don't think they're that expensive at all if you buy them in like a pack of 100. When I started selling on Amazon, I just bought the big variety pack that was like $30, and it came with a bunch of different sizes, and that was pretty useful because you never know what you're going to find, so it's always good to have different sizes on hand. So these should work pretty good for what we're doing today, so let's head over to the prep table. Alright, so we got our bags right here, and the first thing I'm going to do with each one of these is check the expiration date. So we want to make sure they all expire in more than 105 days. That is the minimum for Amazon, I believe, if not 90 days. But anyways, once you've got that checked, we're going to slide it into the bag. Just like that, and then we're going to grab the next one, check the expiration date again, and it's October 2021, so we're all good there. And then we're going to slide this one in right on top. And then we just fold the bag over like this, and then you pull the adhesive strip off right here, and then just fold it over. Now, you'll notice I put them upside down so that you can't see the barcodes on the individual items. You want to cover all the barcodes, and this is an easy way to do them. so you only see the front, not the barcode that is on the back of each bag. So now I can take my Amazon barcode off this sheet. So we're gonna find the Kisses right here, and we can take this and we can just put it on the bag like that. Now you might want to add some tape. I think I probably will, because you never know when the label is going to fall off. If you use thermal labels, you're going to have less of an issue, but you can only use thermal labels with a thermal printer, which you're probably not going to have if you're just starting out. But I'm going to grab some tape, and I'm just going to take a small piece, and I'm going to tape up the edge of the bag, just to make sure it doesn't get opened during transit. Take a piece of tape big enough to go over the entire label, and just put it on top. Make sure there's no creases at all. Just like that. It's not the cleanest packaging, but it's definitely okay, and this is what a lot of people do selling on Amazon. I don't really use this method anymore just because I don't really like the way poly bags look. I bought an impulse sealer. This is how I did my packing for more than 2 years, I think. So we're just gonna wrap up 13 of these, I believe, or 12, 9. There's 9 of these, I think. Okay, we're done with the Kisses, 9 units, so now we're gonna do the cherries. I don't think they'll fit in these bags. They didn't fit in the clear bags, but they fit in these white mailers I have. Usually I use these just as kind of like bubble mailers, but since I don't have any other poly bags and these are pretty close to poly bags, I'm just going to use these. Doesn't really matter what you use, but these do cost a little more, but it's a pretty small amount, and since that's all I have right now, we're just going to use these mailers. Since these are in boxes, I'm checking each side to make sure it's not severely damaged. Usually you want to avoid damaged stuff unless it's hard goods that you could sell in used condition. So stuff like this, for example, which is a board game, and at first glance it looks fine, but this corner it's kind of hard to tell, but this corner is kind of smashed. So I'm going to be listing this as used condition in a separate shipment. That's something I bought online, and oftentimes when you do online arbitrage, you will end up with damaged stuff like that, but that's just part of the game, and you learn to roll with it, and you find solutions. But for now, with groceries, you definitely don't want damaged packaging. Alright, so we're done with cherries now. One more item to polybag, and that's these Jolly Rancher drink mixes. So we've got a 6-pack here, but before we bag them up, we need to take off these clearance stickers. We're going to want to remove those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Goo Gone, and we're just going to put some on this rag, and then we're going to just rub it all over the sticker. And we're just going to let those sit for a little bit. Alright, the sun began to set, so I turned on my lamp. But anyways, this has been sitting for quite some time now, so they should be pretty easy to peel off. So that came off pretty easy. Okay, now that I've peeled all the stickers off, I'm going to take some more Goo Gone, just a little bit, put it in the rag, and then I'm just going to rub off any remaining residue. And you really don't need to use a lot of this. One bottle like this will last me an entire year or more, usually. So since I've got all these barcodes exposed on the bottom, I'm just going to take a Sharpie and cross out all the barcodes. When you do this, it makes it pretty obvious that these aren't the labels that Amazon is looking for. So after I've done that, I'm going to take my FBA label right here and just cover the last barcode. And I'm going to put a piece of tape on it. Just like that. So now we got the last item to label. It's the candy canes. So for these, all I'm gonna do is take my FBA labels and just put them right on top of the barcode on the back of the box. You don't need to do any prep work for something like this. You might think about doing bubble wrap, but it's honestly not really necessary. And I'm not gonna put tape on these either, just because they should be fine on this plastic. Alright, so we're officially done labeling the items, so now we're going to head back to the screen recording and we're going to finish the shipment. Alright, so I got extremely unlucky and my laptop actually died while I was doing this next screen recording, so I re-recorded some of it and I'm going to explain to you what I did. So it takes you back to the label page, you're going to go to the next page and it's going to show you where Amazon wants you to send your items. So in this case, I got 3 fulfillment centers, so that would mean I have to do 3 different boxes and pay for 3 separate shipping labels. Obviously, that's going to be kind of expensive, not very cost effective since these are small and light items, so it doesn't really make sense to split them up because they could easily all fit into one box and it wouldn't weigh that much. So what I did was I went back to the first page where you can adjust all the quantities, and here are a couple things you need to know about quantities. I'll click on Work on Shipment, and this box right here, so let me read it to you guys. You can review and modify your unit quantity here by 5% or 6 units. 6 units. So knowing that, I went back to the first page, and here's another rule you should know. If you have 18 or more of the same item, in most cases, all of that item will go to the same fulfillment center, and if you have one single unit of an item, it will also most likely go to your local fulfillment center. So knowing that, I messed around with the quantities a bit. I made the candy canes 18 and I just put like 2 or 3 for the cherries and the kisses. Everything got grouped into the same shipment. So I confirmed that shipment and then I went in and put the original quantities back, and now we can pick back up at the next screen recording. Now we're going to scroll down, make sure it's on small parcel delivery. You're shipping individual boxes. LTL is for shipping pallets, which is like a bunch of boxes on one pallet. And you're going to be using the Amazon partner, which is UPS. Don't try to use these other carriers. They're probably not going to be cheaper because Amazon has a steep discount if you use their shipping labels through UPS. And how will this shipment be packed? We're going to have everything in one box. And now we got to input the expiration date. So if you're doing a shipment in Seller Central, the minimum shelf life required for a grocery or health and beauty product is 105 days. That's really important to remember when you're sourcing. So right now, I knew that my expiration dates had to be somewhere past April 2021. It wasn't really an issue today, but sometimes you'll find products, maybe usually at discount retailers, discount grocery stores, that expire pretty soon. You won't be able to put those through FBA, but you can do merchant fulfilled. So now it's asking for the box weight and dimensions, so we get to put everything in a box now. So now I'm just going to take all the items I've got here and put them right in this box. So there is a little bit of extra room in the top of the box, but I've got everything in here. So I'm just going to take some of these packing pillows, or you could use some brown paper, whatever you've got on hand. You can use those. Just don't use packing peanuts or like really small things because they don't like that. It's really inconvenient for them, but air pillows and construction paper are totally okay. Alright, so it's pretty tightly packed in here right now, so all I'm going to do is tape up the box and we're going to weigh it. One other thing I like to do is cover these handles on the sides if your boxes have them, or any holes, stuff like that. Always cover those up so people don't try to like take stuff out or try to use the handles because you might damage the products inside. That's another reason I like Home Depot's boxes, because they don't have handles like this. And they're also a little bigger than Walmart's boxes, even though they do cost a little more. But yeah, now that we got the box all taped up and ready to go, I'm going to weigh it with my scale. So this is an Accutech scale. You can get this on Amazon or eBay for about $40. You really don't need this to start out. I bought this when I started shipping out bigger boxes. To start, I recommend you get this scale. So this is also an Accutech scale, but it's a lot smaller, as you can probably tell. And this is a lot easier to ship small boxes and stuff like that. And this is probably all you're going to need if you're just starting out, but if you're getting into like books and heavy stuff like that, big stuff, then it will probably be a lot more convenient to buy a bigger scale like the other one I showed you guys. So okay, so my laptop just crashed apparently, so we're just gonna go back into it. I completely forgot what the weight of the box was. So the box weighs about 27 pounds, and our measurements are 16 by 16 by 17. And we're just gonna press confirm, calculate, and it's gonna cost us $7.44. So something I usually like to check is how much that's gonna cost me per unit. So it looks like about 25 cents, which is, that's actually pretty cheap per item. So I'm gonna agree, and then I'm gonna press accept charges. And this is a UPS label, so you can't take this to the post office. You have to take it to a UPS store or distribution center. So when you get to the shipping label page, you're going to want to click on blank rectangle label, and that's going to print it on a normal 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And if you have label paper, so that's going to be 2 labels per sheet, you can use that as well. But this is going to be getting dropped off on Monday. We're going to click print box labels, and it should automatically open up, and here are our labels. So you could print this using normal paper. I usually use a label printer, but since most of you guys don't have that, I'm just going to be using the 8.5 by 11 labels. So you can actually get these labels for free if you make a free UPS account online, and there's tons of videos that'll show you how to order those, but I don't have the free ones right now, so we're just going to use the 8.5 by 11 shipping labels that I bought on Amazon, which I will link in the description. It's basically looks like a blank piece of paper, but there's 2 labels on the sheet. It's just like the 30-up labels, except a lot bigger. So you can just print those on any printer, doesn't matter, laser, inkjet, whatever you have will work fine. And then we're gonna put these on the box, and then we're basically done. Alright, so now that we got the shipping labels printed and done, you can put those on the box. So put one on each side or wherever you want, really. Just make sure you don't put it on the crease where they will cut open the box. And don't put the barcode so that it's folded. Make sure it's straight and easy to scan. And make sure it's clear too, so if your printer is running out of ink, you should probably replace that. And then all we have to do after that is drop it off at UPS. So you could take it to a UPS store, a distribution center, a Staples. But yeah, that's a wrap on the shipment. So all in all, this took about like 3 hours. Probably took a little bit longer because I was filming and I had some issues with my printers, but for the amount of money I made, which is probably somewhere between like $50 and $100 for one Saturday, honestly, like that's not really that bad. Like you could scale this up a lot. So this is like a typical beginner shipment, I'd say. Actually, this is even better than a beginner shipment. My first shipment, I had 10 items. Here we have 30. So once you kind of get into the swing of things, if you really stick with this and you stay consistent, you can make a real business out of this. I've been doing reselling for about 4 years now. A little more than 4 years now. I started in about November 2016, but yeah, I mean, now I've scaled it to the point where in 2017, so my first full year, I did about $50,000 on Amazon, and then 2019, I did $150,000 revenue. This year, I'm chilling at $92,000, and I'll talk about those numbers in some video in the future. I know I didn't talk too much about how I actually source these items in the video, and I'll get into that in another video, but I also made a video about sourcing groceries a few months ago, so I will link that down in the description below, but you can also click up in the top right corner and you can see that video, and I'll also link an FBA playlist of some other videos I've made about FBA in the description if you want to check that out too. But yeah, hopefully you guys get started with FBA. It's super great. I've been using it for the last 4 years, like I said, and I don't think you'll regret it. It's always worth giving it a shot. And if you have any questions or comments or video ideas, requests, feel free to leave them in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram at SanjaySuresh, And yeah, that's a wrap on this video. So until next time, see you guys later.